Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Untitled Reviews. Now, if I said to you that currently on your screen is arguably one of the best-selling and most well-regarded enthusiast-level keyboards of the last couple of years, would you believe me? This is the Keychron K2 V2 that brings with it a rather simple and sturdy design with some Keychron brown switches and some simplistic white backlighting and some rather decent functionality that has led this to become one of the best-selling and most well-regarded keyboards of the last couple of years. As I say, they've seen a huge boom in popularity, particularly from Mac users. So let's have a look. Is all that hype justified? So, first things first, let's take a look at the design of the Keychron. Well, you'll notice that it's remarkably simple with some two-tone grey ABS keycaps and a slightly more compact layout that really only skimps out on the number pad and offers you a slightly squashed nav cluster down this right-hand side. It's in essence a 75% layout, which offers you a nice middle ground between 10 keyless keyboards, full-size boards, and on the smaller end of the scale, 60% boards like the Philco Magistouch Mini Lyre that we took a look at a few weeks back. Build quality is nicely sturdy with a relatively compact plastic frame. There's no real deck flex and there's also a decent bit of heft. It's no Unicomp Model M, of course, but for the price I don't necessarily have any complaints. Things are kept remarkably simple with the Keychron, which is arguably why a lot of people have kind of invested their time and effort into getting themselves one. You don't just get these Mac keys that you see, Mac function keys that you see on the board at the moment. You get a slew of Windows keys, as well as a handy little keycap puller and some additional bits inside, which also makes this quite a versatile board as well. On the front of switches, things are also kept equally convenient, with Keychron offering you a whole host of different Gateron options. This particular one features Gateron browns, which are Gateron's take on Cherry's classic MX browns, with their light little tactile bump about halfway down the key press, and my actual favourite MX switch, truth be told. As much as Gateron say that they feature that 55-gram weight, I can't help but in day-to-day use thinking that they feel a fair bit lighter and can arguably feel a little bit hollow by comparison as well. The one thing that really does bring the feeling of this being more of a cheap and affordable board home a little bit too much is when you press the backspace and the enter key. Certainly the backspace key, it's more noticeable, and you'll notice there's a certain pinginess to it which isn't necessarily all too welcome. But as I say, browns are fundamentally a typist switch with that handy little tactile bump, and to be honest, given how light or how much lighter than 55 grams these do feel, you could even indulge in some gaming with these if you wanted. They're rather smooth to use, and given the fact that the K2 also features some decent N-key rollover, you will be also covered in that regard. But as this is more of an office keyboard, features like being able to connect it up to 3 devices at once is particularly handy. Switching between them is practically seamless, and there's a handy little switch on the left-hand side of the keyboard, so you can choose what device you want it to be connected to, and also whether you want it to be used in Windows or Mac mode. All the changes, as I say, that you can make to this are practically instantaneous. Also, as this is a wireless keyboard, battery life is also something to write home about. What you're getting here is a 4,000 milliamp hour capacity battery, which to be honest is also on par with some of the flagship and rather decent smartphones out there, for example. So like, for instance, Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip 3 features a 3,300 milliamp hour battery. So if you want to go out shouting that your keyboard features a larger capacity battery than a phone, then you certainly can with this. With or without backlighting, you'll find that you'll get 68 hours of life with full lighting and 240 hours with it off, which essentially means that you can go for weeks without touching the included USB-C charging cable. Now, as I say, the use case of this keyboard is fundamentally twofold. You can use it on Windows or Mac, given the provided keycaps and also that little handy function switch on the left hand side. It's a wonderfully versatile keyboard and does mean you're going to be getting a one-stop shop office board here as well. If you do want to swap the switches out intriguingly for something, another one of Gateron's line, then you can, because the Keychron K2 is available in a hot swappable variant. This isn't a hot swappable variant, it just comes with hard and fast browns, but it's still nice that they certainly offer it. When it comes to backlighting, the K2 is also pretty versatile. You can get this with no backlighting at all, with white backlighting as I've got on this one, or with full RGB, so whatever tickles your fancy, Keychron will provide. Normally it's it's rather nicely crisp and sharp, and the actual static white lighting is rather pleasant to look at. But when you first switch this thing on and connect it up, you get the bog standard pulsating pattern, and to actually get to that static pattern, it looks rather good. You have to cycle through nearly every single preference to get to it. The lighting effects on this, from its ripple effects to putting random keys on at indeterminate intervals, will be more familiar to those who are fans of, say, cheaper keyboards that you can necessarily buy off Amazon, with your, as I say, with your traditional static options taken care of alongside some arguably more left field choices. On the plus side though, if you are a fan of that lighting, you do get 4 levels of kind of vividity to choose from, so you should be able to find one that suits with ease. As far as I could tell, there isn't any additional software with the K2, which is a bit of a shame considering this is an office board, but considering the slew of functions available on it, you shouldn't go wrong with what's on offer natively. So, in conclusion, should you buy the Keychron K2? Well, if you're looking for a versatile office keyboard, then you're going to be in luck, considering this thing can connect up to 3 devices at once and be used with either a PC or Mac, so you're in luck with that. If you're looking for a decent budget mechanical keyboard with some relatively responsive switches, then this with Gateron Browns or any host of Gateron switches should be ideal. And also, if you're looking for some decent battery life, then the 240 hours or so that this thing offers with its backlighting off should also be plenty, and means this thing can go the distance. Charging is also simple thanks to the bundled USB-C cable. But really, for $69, I don't really have too big a complaints about the K2. You're getting a decent all-round keyboard. It's a handy entry-level option, and you can't go wrong. You're going to get decent build quality, handy device connectivity, and some rather alright feeling switches as well. It can feel a little cheap at times, but if you gloss over that and concentrate more on the price, you won't go far wrong. So all I've really got left to say is that if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe to the channel, and to ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. To follow us on Twitter and of course Instagram. Links should be appearing on the screen right about now. And also to check out the Untitled merchandise store in the description if it tickles your fancy. There's all sorts of hoodies, t-shirts, sweatshirts, canvas art, wall art, mugs, pint glasses, and all sorts in between that you can check out down below, and it also supports the channel as well. And spring do ship worldwide, which is marvellously handy, and all the products are of a rather good quality indeed. And also, speaking of quality products, if you want to get your hands on the Keychron K2 or any of the other myriads of keyboards, mice, multimedia controllers, laptops, headsets, microphones, and everything in between that we've featured on this channel over the last couple of years or so, then there'll be Amazon links down in the description of the respective videos where you can pick all that stuff up. So once again, thank you very much for watching.